Welcome back to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. This morning, we've been talking about COVID-19, which is also referred to as the coronavirus. And my next guest is State Representative David Bowen. He represents Milwaukee's 10th District. And in my opinion, no one can speak to the seriousness of this pandemic more than someone who has actually contracted it. So it's really a blessing to have you here today. How are you, Representative Bowen?
I am good. I survived. So I thank
Thank
God for that.
God.
I had a lot of people praying for me. And, at first I just thought it was the cold. So I was like, what are you guys worried about? I'm good. I'm good. But then it started to get serious and it was like, okay, I'm dealing with something much more than the common cold.
Yeah, and like I said, we're all just happy that you're back up. You look great, and hopefully you can help us shed some light on some of the things that's taken place. Like I said, you were actually diagnosed with coronavirus in early March. And I'm wondering if you can just kind of walk us along a timeline in a nutshell of just really discovering that you tested positive.
Yeah, essentially, the week of the 10th of March, I started coming down with symptoms. And a couple days before that, I ran into a colleague who's a local elected official, and literally saw him in a cafe. I didn't think anything of it. I didn't know he had the virus. He didn't know he had the virus.
Mhm.
And several days after that, started feeling symptoms. And then several days after that, got a call from the health department that I was in touch with someone at that location, that had exposure, direct exposure to the coronavirus. So at that point, they didn't know if I had it, but they thought I was at a medium risk of contracting the virus. But by that time, I was days in of experiencing some pretty intense symptoms, that were just wreaking havoc on my body, and going through fever and cold sweats and body aches, and a number of symptoms that then escalated into respiratory
Wow.
issues.
It
Where
sounds so scary.
it's tough, and I think that is why I really am passionate right now of making sure that people know how easy it is to contract the virus, how much damage, and how the virus really does fight your body. It fights your immune system. And if you have pre-existing conditions, it literally can get extra strength
Yeah.
to fight your immune system and fight your body, rather than your body beating it. So I have been exposed to a number of situations and families in our community that are under the pressure because their family members are dealing with this virus, and not everyone is being able to get over it as easy. My mentor Lennar Wells passed away from the virus when he came here. He's a former leadership of the Milwaukee Police Department,
Yeah.
community leader, came here to visit, contracted the virus, and did not make it. And we are seeing misinformation, the effect of misinformation affect how people are addressing how they are operating with the threat of this virus at play.
And so we've been weeks in now of being kind of quarantined and practicing social distancing. Do you still feel like people are not taking this virus serious enough?
I think we still have a ways to go, right? We are
Yeah.
cutting through the misinformation that started at the beginning of this thing, literally from the top down. And that has led to people taking very lightly the calls from experts on social distancing, and to really take heed to the call of being as careful as possible, washing your hands, and doing things of that nature to not spread the virus. But literally, there are situations where you could wash your hands as much as possible, and like I did, still contract the virus. And because I was in direct communication
Hmm.
with the person that had the virus, and they did not know it. That's the other thing. People are experiencing these symptoms. They are suffering from the virus, and they don't know that they actually are carrying it around.
Until it's too late. Then you have to backtrack where you've been, who you've come in contact with. So it really is important to just stay home if you can. And you have partnered with the City of Milwaukee Health Department as well as the City of Milwaukee to help spread awareness so that people understand why it's so important to stay home and only leave if you have to go to work, if you have to go to the grocery, if you have to pick up prescriptions or something of that nature. But just going by and hanging out at your friend's house because you're not at work is unacceptable.
Exactly. You don't want to have parties right now. A lot of people I know are celebrating birthdays. And thankfully, most of them are doing it the safe way and doing it at home. And they're not hosting parties at their house. This is not the time for large gatherings. This is not the time for people to act on their own intuition that this just isn't that bad. You literally could expose the virus to somebody who might not be able to beat this virus. So it's important that people understand the importance of staying home. But we also have a lot of people in our community that feel like they don't have a choice, that they still have to go out and work, that they still have to provide for their families. And some of them are in a really tough position to figure out how much exposure to the public they can risk and possibly bring that virus back home. So we want people as much as possible. If you have an essential job, do that safely. If you don't, if you're at a company that's closed or a job that's closed right now, just stay home and take care of your family and look out for them. Do not expose this virus to people that possibly will not be able to survive it.
Yeah, and I just wanted to point out that, Milwaukee's unique situation of having just a large number of African Americans on the north side actually dying from coronavirus led you to doing an interview on CNN, which kind of highlights the fact that this is so serious and that it is hitting a population of people who have these underlying issues such as, diabetes, heart disease, and things of that nature. But before we run out of time, I want you to talk about this boycott, a community initiative for small businesses, because it's very important for individuals who have had to shut down their business.
Right. So after my CNN interview, I hosted a live stream, just talking to people about my experience. And we came up with the idea as a community to support small businesses in our community as much as possible. There are small businesses right now that are suffering that might face closure for good permanently. And we want to try to stand in the gap. So we're probably up to about 150 members close. So we're about 3 times our size since we started. It was 25 people, then it was 50 people, and then I jumped to 100. So we are making our way to try to, as much as possible, band together as a community. Even though we can't meet in person, we still can spend our dollars with small businesses in our community that need it right now, that this could be their saving grace to keep them open.
So is there anywhere where the viewers can go to get more information on the boycott?
Absolutely. So Facebook search boycott, BUYCOTT, to save small businesses, and it will pop up. It is a Facebook group tied to my fan page on Facebook. So State Representative David Bowen, boycott to save small businesses. It should pop right back up.
All right. Well, thank you. I'm glad you're doing well and you stay safe. All right.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you for your time. State Representative. What's that?
Social distancing.
Yes, and that's exactly what we're doing now. State Representative David Bowen represents Milwaukee's 10th District. It's a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much.
Take care.